Welcome to English Stories by Manvi Sharma, where simple stories create powerful lessons. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I am going to share a very emotional and inspiring story with you.
Today's story is called The Boy Everyone Called a Failure. It is a story that teaches us that failure is never the end if we continue trying.
Part 1. Dreams and Disappointments.
So, our story begins with a quiet, simple, and incredibly hardworking young boy named Arjun. Now, Arjun carried this one bright dream right in his heart. He just wanted to become successful, to make his family proud. But life really wasn't easy for him. No matter how hard he tried, he just kept failing. He'd study for hours on end, but his marks were always low. He'd practice tirelessly, but he always seemed to lose his contests. Honestly, even the simple things just went wrong for him. It kind of felt like this heavy, dark cloud was just following him everywhere. And it's heartbreaking because slowly the people around him actually started calling him a failure. His classmates would laugh at him in the hallways. Some of his teachers just entirely ignored him, figuring he didn't have any potential. Even his own relatives would whisper behind his back saying, well, maybe success is just not meant for him. And let me tell you, those harsh words, they pierced right through his hopeful heart.
Part 2. The Breaking Point.
At night, Arjun would often sit completely alone in his room. He'd be surrounded by his books, just wondering, why does he fail every single time? The weight of everyone's disappointment was just getting way too heavy to carry. Then one day, after failing yet another absolutely crucial exam, Arjun completely lost hope. With tears welling up in his eyes, he said in this really heavy, broken voice, I'm tired. Maybe I should just stop trying. He was truly ready to let his dream slip away forever.
Part 3. The Seed of Wisdom.
But sometimes, right when we're ready to just give up on everything, wisdom finds us. That evening, his grandfather quietly walked into the room and sat down beside his heartbroken grandson. And he didn't scold him, not at all. Instead, he gently placed this tiny, completely unremarkable little seed right into Arjun's hand. He looked deeply into Arjun's eyes and asked in this incredibly calm, comforting voice, "What do you see?" "A seed," Arjun replied. His grandfather just smiled and said, "This tiny seed fails many, many times before becoming a tree."
Just think about the beautiful journey of that single seed, his grandfather continued. It breaks underground, it struggles in the heavy, crushing darkness, it faces terrible storms that try to wash it away completely, but still, it grows. You see, the seed's intense struggle in that dark soil isn't its end at all. Actually, it's the very beginning of its life. And then, his grandfather shared this profoundly beautiful truth. He said, success is not for people who never fail. It is for people who never stop growing. Those gentle words, they sparked a light in the dark. They shifted something fundamentally deep inside of Arjun.
Part 4. Embracing the struggle. The very next morning, Arjun picked up those books again. But he was a completely different boy now. He had found this brand new strength to fully embrace the struggle. He totally flipped his mindset. He stopped being so afraid of failure and actually started learning from it. Every mistake, it wasn't a defeat anymore. It became a truly valuable lesson. Every failure simply became his practice. He stopped worrying about people laughing at him and just focused entirely on letting his own roots grow stronger.
And slowly, he improved. Not overnight, obviously, but steadily. Step by step. A few months later, another massive exam rolled around. But this time, Arjun walked a totally new path. He stayed completely calm. He walked right into that room, gave it his absolute best shot, and when it was all over, he didn't overthink a single thing, because deep inside, he already felt so much stronger.
Part 5. The Harvest of Success.
Finally, the big day arrived to see the harvest of all that quiet, persistent growth. Arjun walked up to the school's notice board, and you could see his hands were visibly shaking. He slowly traced his finger down that long, long list of names, just searching for his own. And then he froze. His name was right there. He had passed. And no, not only had he passed, he had actually scored among the very top students in the entire school. For a breathless moment, he literally couldn't even believe it. His heart just completely swelled with this beautiful, overwhelming joy.
The crazy part is, the exact same people who once laughed at him,
The ones who called him a complete failure. They were suddenly surrounding him, just praising him. But Arjun? He simply smiled. Because he finally understood something incredibly important. True success didn't come when other people finally believed in him. It came when he chose to believe in himself.
Years later, Arjun grew up to be a highly successful adult, but he never, ever forgot those painful early days. In fact, he cherished them, because he knew for a fact that those very failures were the foundation stones. They were the building blocks that created the strong, amazingly resilient person he eventually became.
Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. As we wrap up this explainer of Arjun's incredible story today, I want to leave you with one final, truly powerful question. What will your failures build? When you face a major setback, I want you to remember that tiny little seed struggling in the darkness. Keep growing, keep believing, and please, never give up. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Until next time.